the two of us. We can make it if we try, you and I. Hey guys! Don't ask me what is going on. Sometimes I just wake up super energetic. Time for the morning skincare routine. I just did a little attempt at working my arms. I love working out, but I do not enjoy weightlifting. So I do a little bit in the mornings sometimes. It's definitely not enough to like build substantial muscle or anything, but it's just enough to like, I don't know, challenge my my arms a bit. I could do more, it's what I'm getting at when it comes to weightlifting for sure. I love running, what can I say? That's what I enjoy the most. Although I've really gotten into swimming, and I think that's also helping my arm down a lot too. I'm gonna wash my face this morning, primarily because it's hot and I just feel like splashing cold water on my face. But I've been trying out Aveeno's Daily Moisturizing Facial Cleanser because I recently finished up my Hydra Boost Hydrating Cleansing Gel, and I really like this. Here's what it looks like. See, it's like pretty light. It's a lot thinner than the Aveeno Calm and Restore Facial Cleanser, which I also really like. Like when you put it on your face, it almost feels like you're putting on a serum or a moisturizer, but then it does go, see, it does go into a bit of a silky lather. So this would be really good if you have really sensitive skin, rosacea. But if you're somebody with really oily skin and you like to wash your face first thing in the morning to degrease it, this might not be enough because it's like super gentle. For people who like to do a degreasing, as I call it, I think a salicylic acid cleanser is a great option. You can leave the salicylic acid cleanser on your skin for a few minutes. That short contact time will really help blackheads, closed comedones, sebaceous filaments. If you've got seborrheic dermatitis on your face, doing that will also help. But AM face washing, not everyone needs to do it. Oftentimes I skip it and just put on my sunscreen. Yeah, it should have gone up Monday, I think. Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Reviewing some sunscreen, Asian sunscreens, Korean and Japanese. And this was one of my favorites from that review. Tiny little bottle though. Today I think I'm gonna film an updated video on monkeypox for you guys, because when I did my last monkeypox, my other monkeypox video, I described the rash of monkeypox, but honestly, the cases that we're seeing of monkeypox are a lot different, just in terms of the number of spots. So I think I'm gonna do an updated video because I'm still getting views on that one, and so I want to do an updated one, since obviously people are watching, you know, who are searching that content out. And so I want to have, you know, more up-to-date information. It's crazy how things change. Like, I learned about monkeypox as a resident, and I was tested on it extensively, shown photographs of it, like, you know, and histology of it. Something people don't realize about dermatology training is we're also trained in pathology. How to, like, you know, when you get a skin biopsy, we're trained in how to read that, you know, interpret that biopsy. And a lot of dermatologists actually read their own slides. And many pursue additional training. It's called a Derm Path Fellowship, and do either exclusively pathology, or they do like a combination of clinical practice and pathology. Anyways, all I had to say, learned a lot about monkeypox as a resident, but it was one of those things where it was like, you learned it for the purposes of having the knowledge base, but you're like, you know, unless there's, you know, it was one of those things in your mind, you're like, I'm never gonna see this. Boom, 2022. It's crazy how viruses do stuff. You know, in graduate school, my PhD was I worked in a virology lab, working on a type of herpes virus, and so I learned a lot about how viruses hijack the cells they infect and manipulate our immune system and stuff. So yeah, it's just always mind-blowing to me how these pathogens mutate and emerge. Time to fill up the kettle. You guys, so what with everybody pointing out that it's back to school season. That reminds me that pretty soon it's gonna be time for, ignore random tripod and mess. It's gonna be time for the fall FabFitFun box. And this little Lazy Susan was it in the last box I got? Love it. I want to say 4 years now. I think I've been doing FabFitFun. Come on, baby, light my fire. I light my candle. This little jug, I don't know, that's nothing I would ever buy, but I love it. It sits there, and then when I want to water my plant, which I need to, I fill that jug up and use it. Anyways, Tuscany Candles. So currently Kroger, as of the filming of this vlog at least, is having a sale on the Tuscany Candles. Highly recommend this peach Prosecco. It's not like sickeningly sweet peach or anything. I don't get any Prosecco in there. I think they just throw that word on there to, I don't know, liven up the label. Let's water the plant while we're at it. That plant is called a Mascane. I've had it for going on 3 years now and have not managed to kill it. It even survived me transferring it to this larger pot. But you don't have to water it that often. And what do you know, it's time for, the water is all ready. Let me grab my French press carafe. Everything Cerave I've ever had has been the bee's knees. They've come a long way in their designs too. So I have the Cerave multi-cooker. It's like a combination of a slow cooker and then it has a separate lid and it can be a pressure cooker. I mean, it does a ton of stuff. You can make yogurt in there. I make soy yogurt in there all the time. They no longer make the particular model I have, but that was one of the first Cerave products I ever got and I still use it daily to this day. I've had it for I've had it for 5 years, I'll say. Roughly 5 years. And works really well. Since I got the multi-cooker years ago, they've really upped their design game because that's one gripe I have with the multi-cooker. It's kind of unsightly. It looks like something, I don't know, that you would see in like more of a industrial kitchen, not like it's not very cute, but you guys know I'm not so picky about things like that. All right, the timer went off and I didn't have the camera on, but so you know, I sprayed and wiped down the countertop. That's my version of cleaning. This is a Grab Green. I love this. Move over, Mrs. Myers. This is 10 out of 10, this stuff right here. I like the Thyme with Fig Leaf set. There's also a citrus one that's quite good. Get you up on in there. You know you want a piece of this. Am I even holding the camera right? Probably not. Well, hey guys, I came over here to the Museum of Fine Arts to check it out. I've never actually been here, so I'm looking forward to it. As a side note, if you live in the Houston area, this museum is totally free on Thursdays, so definitely come over here and take advantage of it. But we're getting massive thunder, lightning, and rain right now. I just like came through a big storm. Photographs here. Flying baby. Enter this tunnel, the Wilson Tunnel. It kind of looks like something off of a Pink Floyd album. This virtual reality thing is so cool. Like you can go up there and lay on the house. How cool is this? Did you guys ever have one of those MC Escher like coffee table books? They were always a good time. Or like they had coloring books too. African gold collection. I like this painting. There's a lot going on here. And the fabrics, pretty. Tempera and acrylic on canvas. In the late 19th and early 20th century, many fauns or kings decorated the entryway of their palaces with figurative wooden pillars that signified the values and beliefs of their region. Here we have some native Southwest jewelry. Native peoples of North America have fashioned personal adornment from a variety of materials for millennia. After the arrival of the Spanish in what is now the Southwest United States, the Diné, Navajo, Hopi, and other Pueblo tribes adopted silver into their jewelry making. Jewelry and its minerals are usually highly symbolic and meaningful in native cultures. They're not just ornament, but signify identity and belonging. In the 19th century, silver jewelry became popular for the status it represented. Today, Southwest Native peoples speak of the process of putting on their jewelry and connecting them to their ancestors. Here we have some headdresses and a belt from Indonesia, I believe. This kris is a weapon believed to be magically empowered. It was worn in royal courts. The handle depicts a mythological hero wearing a dance costume. This one has an ivory handle depicting a mythical Garuda eagle, the mount of Hindu god Vishnu, preserver of the universe. Glad to see it stopped raining and we made it up on the roof. We've got a little garden out here. What a great view. It is humid. That was a nice way to spend the day, a couple of hours of the day at least. Got to see some really great paintings and whatnot. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I might have to come over here more often since we barely made a dent. I mean, this is a massive museum, but got a little lost. There are multiple garages here, but hopefully I didn't waste too much time from the time I paid until the time I found my spot that I have to pay again. Please. There you go. Thank you for visiting. Sweet. I was worried about that. Alright, and nicely, there's no one behind me. So let me just figure out. Okay, so I thought I was talking to you guys, but I was not. And my camera shut off on me. But what I was telling you guys is I'm over here by Hotel Zaza.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Sunset Boulevard.
And I was asking you guys if any of you have ever stayed there. I think it's a chain, or they have multiple locations. Like they have one in Dallas, but the one here in the Loop area is over by the museums. And I've heard that the rooms are like fun themes and stuff. I've always kind of wanted to stay there. I thought it would be a fun thing to do. Let me know. That would be a fun vlog, wouldn't it? But the other thing I was commenting on, surprise, surprise, is the weather. I know I'm always commenting on it, but these days, weather has gotten so extreme that I feel as though it's just more than small talk to be commenting on the weather. We have had an unusually dry summer, and today we got a lot of rain, which, you know, is a good thing, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. But
turn right onto Sunset Boulevard. Then turn left onto Main Street.
Now that it stopped raining, it's gorgeous out. I gotta say, I do enjoy the longer days of summer because it just makes it more enjoyable. You know, you feel like you have more time in the day.
At the light, turn left.
At least I didn't have to go through that roundabout. Okay, if you live here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's this roundabout over here by the museum district. There's like a fountain in the center of it, and I don't think anybody here knows exactly how to function in it because it is the biggest cluster kerfuffle you could possibly imagine. When I lived in Colorado, I moved there from South Carolina, and in South Carolina I'd never encountered a roundabout before. I'm sure they have them there, but like it was just not a thing I was familiar with. And I never liked the roundabout, but I got used to it. In Colorado it was like this very smooth sailing kind of thing where like people just knew how to work them. It was very straightforward, very logical. This roundabout they have here makes no sense because if I remember correctly, the laws of the roundabout, at least in Colorado, were that the people physically in the roundabout if your car was physically going through in the round, you had the right of way, and other people trying to enter the roundabout had to yield to you. But here, they randomly put like stop signs in the roundabout and yield signs, and like nobody knows how it works. It doesn't make sense at all, and it stresses me out every time because it's a recipe for a fender bender, for sure. Yeah, I don't know why they insisted on putting that there. And because people don't appear to know, I have you guys at a horrible angle, but you're just gonna have to live with it. Because people don't appear to understand how it works. I mean, I don't understand how that one works. Nobody does. It's illogical, that roundabout. It slows up traffic on an already extremely busy street, entering an extremely busy like area, you know, museums. It exits basically from the med center, which is highly congested, and it puts you out in the museum district, depending on which way you go, and it's just maddening. Yeah, I can't understand what the logic was there. It's a nightmare. Maybe it is just to slow down traffic in a very obnoxious way. Well, hey guys, finished a run, and I decided I'm gonna take off my eye makeup with the Cerave eye makeup remover. Gosh, mouthful there. I've actually really been loving the cleansing balm, and that works just fine to take off my eye makeup, you know, mascara and whatnot. I even did eyeliner today with blue eyeliner to match my tank. Anyways, yeah, this is fine. I just find eye makeup removers are a little unwieldy. I do have some cotton pads because I rarely ever use eye makeup remover. I was sent these cotton pads a long time ago and it's taking me a while to go through them. But like if this were something I did as part of my regular skincare routine, I would be using a reusable cotton round, but like it's not. So we're just gonna use the ones that we have and pretend that we're not using wasteful stuff. Man, I pointed this out in my review. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with this cap. Like, is this full of Dimetap and we're worried a child is going to get into it? I mean, granted, I don't suggest ingesting this whole bottle, but what is with the child safety latch? It's like not very, you know, mobility friendly. Anyways, and you do need to shake this up. All that to say, this is actually a really good product. Because my experience with eye makeup removers is like, they kind of burn for me personally. This one does not. And it really takes it all off nicely. And if you're someone who likes to take your makeup off when you get home from work, but you aren't going to do your skincare routine yet, you actually can leave this residue on the skin. Ultimately, I do suggest taking it off with a gentle cleanser, which is what I'm going to do when I get in the shower. But yeah, I mean, it works really well. Let me know if you've tried the eye makeup remover. Like, I see people on YouTube sometimes who vlog. They'll be like, so it's the end of the day, I'm going to do my skincare routine. And their skincare routine involves taking their makeup off with a wipe and then putting on moisturizer, and that is just not sufficient to actually remove that residue, and it can lead to irritation for sure. Plus the wipes, you know, they have preservatives in them, which are not the devil, but when left on the skin like that and mixed with all that cosmetic residue, it can really lead to problems. So see, like, there's still obviously like some cosmetic grime left on my skin. You can probably see. I mean, I could have used more and spent a little more time on it, but I'm gonna get in the shower. Like, let's not make this more precious than it needs to be. But I'm gonna use the cleansing balm to the rest of my face because I've got that I want to call it Skin Aqua, but that's not what it's called. The Rotomentholatum blue sunscreen that I wore today. Plus, this evening I filmed a video for you guys, and I've been using this just like as a makeup. I really like it. It's the L'Oreal Lumi Lotion. It's just a tinted moisturizer, but I find on camera I kind of like the way that it looks, and I like the way it looks in person, but I just use it for right before I'm going to film as like a makeup type product, just to kind of not look so washed out under the ring lighting, because I reposition my self so I'm not in front of the window. I'm next to the window, but I'm not like, you know, en face with the window, and so I'm using my ring light more directly, and it kind of makes me look washed out. But this I find sort of balances that. If I knew how to color correct my videos, which is the thing, then we would be okay in that department, but I don't. Color correction for videos is not the same as like putting filters on. That, in my opinion, is a big no-no. Like, if you're, at least if you're demonstrating skincare products or makeup, it's a no-no. Like, I don't, like my camera, this camera actually has a beauty setting where you can, but it's like super obvious. And when I first got this camera, I'm going on a tangent. I was telling you guys that I looked washed out, so I've been using the tinted moisturizer to kind of, you know, put a little color in my face. But I don't color correct, which is a technical editing thing. I don't color correct my videos at all. I don't know how. And I don't do that. I'm not that advanced. Anyways, but you know, you can put, some people manipulate their photos, and to me that is just, depending on what you're talking about or showing in your videos, I think it definitely, in my opinion, should be illegal. In fact, I think in some countries using filters on Instagram to sell products is illegal. It's not in the US, and if you train your eye, you can see that people are using filters. I don't use filters at all. Like, I mean, if you follow me over on Instagram, on my stories, all I'm really posting over there is text. Like, I'm not really using my face, showing my face much on my stories, and I never use a filter for photos. But when I first got this camera, I got it because I dropped my other one and shattered it. And I wanted to do a Target shop with me video. And so I pulled it out of the box. I've always used these Sony cameras, but this is like a newer model. It's got like a wind guard on it, so it's slightly different. And I assumed, oh, whatever, turned it on the same way I always do, point and shoot. That's like how I do it. I don't play with the settings on the camera or anything. Well, it came automatically with the beauty setting on, and I didn't realize it. Filmed the whole video with the beauty setting on in Target, and you guys were like, are you using some kind of blurring filter? The camera had it on. I've since taken that off, but yeah, that is one time where I did in fact use one because I didn't know it was on, and so I had to figure out how to turn it off. But yeah, I mean, fortunately in that video, I wasn't showing like products on my skin. You know, it was a Target shop with me video. All right, out of the shower, coming in to my body with the Eucerin Intensive Repair Restores Radiance Essential Oil Balm. I'm almost finished with it, kinda. I mean, I got, I don't know, about a third-ish left, but I just love the consistency. I've been using this to body slug instead of just plain petrolatum. It's very emollient, but it surprisingly does not stay as greasy. It's kind of like a cross between a cream and an oil. Fragrance free, even though it calls itself essential oil balm, there are no essential oils in there. They need to rethink that name. But yeah, I'm putting it on damp skin. And then to my face, I'm still using this, even though it's given me, I've kind of gotten used to it. I'm no longer having sensitivity with it now that I'm realizing how important it is to be uber conservative with the number of drops. This product, I don't know. I do think it's helpful. It's got melatonin in it. The thing about it is, what I just put on my hand there, that's all I use, those tiny 3 drops. This bottle is meant to last a year, and it also has bakuchiol in it, which is an antioxidant. People try and make bakuchiol out to seem like an alternative for people who are too sensitive to tolerate retinol, and I would not put it as that at all. It's an antioxidant, but just because you're sensitive to retinol, my default would definitely not be bakuchiol. It would be to ask, well, what retinol product did you use? Did you use retinol, like a cosmetic retinol? Did you use adapalene, or did you use tretinoin 0.1%? The irritancy of those varies. Did you use a cream version of tretinoin, or did you use a gel? Did you use retin-A micro? And so, it's a bit more nuanced, but all that to say, bakuchiol, it's not this is the thing, like, people have the wrong idea. A lot of people still have the wrong idea about what bakuchiol can offer in skincare because of misleading marketing. It's a good ingredient. It offers a lot of potential as an antioxidant. It's been shown to help stabilize retinol in formulas. I mean, there's a lot of benefit there. And who knows, maybe it's just as good, if not better, than vitamin C as an antioxidant in skincare products. I don't know, but all that to say, it's not a substitute for retinol. If you don't get along with retinol, then, bakuchiol is not it. I do have a video, by the way, on retinol alternatives, things to incorporate into your routine if you don't use retinol, but you want some of the benefits of retinol. So check that out if that is you. But yeah, I would not label bakuchiol as So I went ahead and put on my hotel pajamas, as I call them, my Tommy Hilfiger pajamas. I call them my hotel pajamas because the past couple of times I've stayed in a hotel, well, with the exception of the recent Vegas trip, I've taken these just because sometimes I like having pants in an unknown bedding situation. I don't know, it's all on my head probably. But I decided to put these on tonight because why not? The pants of this set, they're actually pretty thin, which is great because it has been hot. Although I like to turn my temperature down right before I go to bed, like about an hour or so before I go to bed. It really makes a huge difference in my sleep. This time of year is super expensive here because running the air conditioning and whatnot. I pointed this out though in last weekend's vlog. The Tretinoin cream, it is like it's very emollient. Like it looks like I'm putting a lot on the skin, doesn't it? It looks like I'm putting a lot. It's got really good slip and spread. So a pea-sized amount ends up looking like a ton on the face, like when I'm putting it on, but it's honestly not that much. And then I like to rub the backs of my hands together. This little maneuver, that way you get the benefits of tretinoin on the backs of your hands where the first signs of skin aging often show up. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope you all enjoyed it and that you're having a great weekend. Stay tuned for tomorrow's vlog. We're gonna have another fun day together. But if you like this one, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.